Hi everyone, it's Kimerayvonne. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted, and today's video will be to catch you guys up to speed on what's been going on in my life for this past year, because I have been dealing with some health challenges that I want to share with you guys, and also to kind of reintroduce you guys to me and to let you guys know what you can expect from my channel moving forward. I started this YouTube channel when I was passion for hair, creating products, and also sharing the highs and lows of my menstrual cycle. That's honestly what it was. Here I am, I'm 22, I will be turning 23. Why was that so hard for me to say? I'll be turning 23 on Christmas Eve this year, so a lot of you guys have been rocking with me for a while, since I was a baby, and now I'm still a baby, but I'm growing. I'm a more mature version of myself, so this channel has to evolve with me. I kind of left it behind because I've undergone so many transformations just in the last year that I just wasn't sure what to do with this channel. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary of my business, The Sunflower Child, on 111, where I sell all things organic and clean body care to help with eczema, dark spots, psoriasis, dry skin, flaky skin. I do all of that, and I also sell tea blends now to help with women and their womb issues, and that's what we'll be talking a little bit about today. I'm also a doula now. I am a postpartum doula. I'm also an abortion doula, so I support all aspects of motherhood, all aspects of the womb. I am a reproductive rights activist at this point, and I'm ready to come back on my channel and really share with you guys more of my passions with healing and just continuing to grow and be the best version of ourselves. I'm also going to be drinking some of my femininity, which is a blend of amazing herbs to help heal your womb, and we'll get into more of that, but that's what I'm going to be sipping on. If any of you guys are curious, you can find it on my website, thesunflowerchild.com, of course. So good. So I'm gonna hop right into this story time because it's good, it's juicy, and I want you guys to hear all the parts of it as fast as you can. So December of 2021, shortly after my 21st birthday, I began to have debilitating cramps, like in my stomach. Unlike any pains I had ever really felt before, they were the sharpest cramps. I couldn't really move, I couldn't really walk, but I just continued on because I've had my cycle for years at this point. I always complained at the doctor of pains. I was just written off with birth control. I've been prescribed Motrin 800 since I was like 14 years old. I've been on birth control since I was 14 years old. So I kind of knew if I went to the doctor, it would just kind of be a pain medicine, a band-aid type of situation. So at first I was like, I'm gonna just take care of it at home, lay with my heating pad, and this too shall pass, right? No, the pain only got worse. It only escalated. So I went to the movies with my godbrother, and I couldn't even go home after that. I was in so much pain that I called the gynecologist's office because I was nearby. I called by, I'm like, yo, I have to come by. There's something going on. I don't know if I have a UTI, but my stomach is hurting. Like the left side is hurting really, really bad, and you need to see me right now. I'm 10 minutes away. I'll be there. I get there, they're like, okay, you can leave a urine sample and we'll get you some UTI medication. I do the urine sample, and I'm talking to the doctor a little bit about my pain. I'm showing her where it is. I'm describing the pain to her, and she's like, you know, the urinalysis doesn't say that there's any bacteria or that you have a UTI, but based on your symptoms and your history, we're gonna go ahead and treat it as a UTI. Okay, doc. Okay, we'll treat it as a UTI. Okay. I went home with the UTI medication, and normally I feel relief by the first antibiotic, okay? Right when it kicks in, I feel some sort of relief because I had dealt with chronic UTIs, not knowing why. So I have a history of taking this medication, and I know how it works. And I know that after the first day or two, once I kick up my water, I kick up the cranberry, I really get on it, I should be feeling some relief. But no, there was no relief. My pain only continued and only got worse. I finished the whole round of antibiotics and I'm still like hunched over in pain. I can't walk, I can't do anything. I just want to be in the bed with my heating pad. I call the doctor. I'm like, I just finished these antibiotics and my stomach is still on fire. Like, I can't do anything. What's wrong? So I come back, do another urinalysis. They're like, this is weird because you definitely don't have a UTI. Like, again, there's no bacteria present, but maybe your body is just, used to this antibiotic, so we're gonna send you home with a higher dose antibiotic because your body won't, be able to fight that one off. It's not used to that one. So we're gonna give you this stronger antibiotic to kill off whatever is going on, and we'll see what happens after that. So at that point, I'm feeling a little skeptical. I'm feeling very skeptical because at this point, I've been in pain for almost 3 weeks, and these pills are not working. They're not working at all. Go home and I begin the other set of pills. They're still not working. So at this point, I know I don't have a UTI. I know I don't because it's not helping. So I go back to the doctor. Once I finish the second round of antibiotics, I go back to the doctor with the same symptoms. Would you guys believe that they sent me to a urologist? I was referred to a urologist instead of, let me backtrack to just tell you guys the red flags as we're going through this story so that you guys can avoid these red flags. If you are feeling any pain in your abdominal area, any cramping, any sharpness, any radiating, demand a sonogram. Do not ask for a sonogram. Do not request a sonogram. Do not, talk about your possible options. You need a sonogram. A transvaginal sonogram would probably be best, but you need some sort of sonogram to see what is going on. Not just, we're going to send you home with the medicine. No, you need a sonogram. And this is the gynecologist that I had been going to for years, since I was 14 or 15. I'm complaining about pain. I'm complaining about cramps. I'm complaining about a heavy menstrual cycle. I'm complaining about throwing up on my periods. I'm complaining about back pain. As the years went on, my symptoms got worse. My complaining got worse. You're putting me on birth control. You're giving me depot shots. You're giving me pills. You're giving me Motrin 800. This is all in my history with Waldorf Women Care. But they still didn't order me a sonogram despite my history of pain. They send me to Chesapeake Urology. I go to Chesapeake Urology in Annapolis, Maryland. Completely different care. I walk in the office. The urologist is like, what's going on? I'm like, I have a history of chronic UTIs and I'm really having a lot of pain on my left side. The look on her face is just like pure terror, like she's terrified. And I'm looking back at her because I've been to the gynecologist several times and they never cared. They wrote their little notes and sent me home with medicine. So now I'm in front of the urologist and she's looking at me like I just robbed her or something. Like she's looking panicked. She's like, what do you mean you're having pain on your left side? Doc, I'm having pain on my left side, but why are you tripping? The gynecologist didn't care. Why do you care? Y'all, she immediately sends me down for a sonogram. Again, this is the urologist. This is not even their line of work. This is not even what the urologist is supposed to be doing. They're doing what gynecology was supposed to do, and I'm so grateful that they did it. So they send me down to the sonogram, and I had a sonogram before, but this one was a little bit different because I'm like, why are you rushing me down for a sonogram? Suddenly, I'm not really knowing what's going on. That's the problem with my stomach. He's like, he starts, just asking me more and more questions. He's like, and you came from the gynecologist? Yeah. What office did you come from? Waldorf Women's Care. Did they do a sonogram for you? Nope, I'm just laying on the table clueless. Nope, they didn't order me a sonogram, nothing. And it's hurting, like as he's pushing on my stomach, it's hurting. And he's just like, well, they really should have ordered you a sonogram a month ago at this point, because there is a 7 to 8 centimeter cyst on your left ovary. What? So at that point, my mind is just spinning. I'm like, a cyst? A cyst? I'm thinking they're going to tell me I have like a deep case of a urinary tract infection. I don't know. A cyst? A 7 centimeter when that made you think I was pregnant? Like, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. But then I'm like, okay, it's starting to make sense. Because I never felt this pain before. Like, okay. And he's like, you know, this is so big that if you're starting to feel more pain, you need to go to the ER. Like, call your gynecologist and let them know what we found. They need to get you in tomorrow. But if you're in any more pain, you need to go to the emergency room, because you're at a potential for this thing to rupture. You're at a potential for this thing to twist and burst. It will take your ovary. Like, he's telling me all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, all right, I hear you. Like, I'm trying to digest all of this. I'm still on birthday New Year mode. I'm not really, you know, listening to what he has to say. But I didn't even realize that was only the beginning of all of this. So I go in the office, and they're just kind of like, wow, like, we missed it. Okay. So do they do another sonogram to kind of check? No. They're just kind of like, you know, at that point, we're going to have to do a cystoscopy, which is removing the cyst. And they're just telling me all of the negatives. You know, there's a possibility because of how big the cyst is, we'll have to take your ovary. You might lose your whole uterus. You might have to get a hysterectomy. You may never be able to have kids. This and this, this and this. Like, and if you have any twisting, you'll have to go to the emergency room to get it done there. Oh, but you can't have your cyst removed until 4 months because we're too booked up. So you're telling me this is a medical emergency. My health is on the line. If this thing twists, I may not be able to get pregnant. But you can't help me right now. And I'm going to have to wait 4 months. 4 months with this thing. Okay. So I took that home to my parents, and my mom's like, no, we're going to get a second opinion, which at that point I agreed, because I don't trust you guys. I don't want to even be around, like, I don't even want to be in your office because you missed something so big. So I decided to go with my mom's gynecologist, and he's been her gynecologist for a while. He's done her hysterectomy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to his office and talk to him. I tell him about how painful my periods have been. I tell him how much pain my stomach is in, and immediately a different response. You know, I'm receiving the empathy, I'm receiving sympathy. He's so apologetic that this was missed by his colleagues. He's feeling so just let down that, and you know, I will say my current gynecologist receives a lot of patients from Waldorf Women's Care with the same story of them dropping the ball. So he was definitely upset that, you know, I'm so young, and that is what I experienced from a gynecologist. The care that I experienced from a gynecologist, that's just not acceptable. So immediately he decides to send me for an MRI. He decides an MRI is the best thing to do so that he can see exactly what's going on with the cyst. He wants to see the location, if it's done any damage to my ovaries or anything in my body. He wants to see everything. When he said that, again, I'm nervous. I'm on edge. I've never had not a sonogram. I've never had an MRI before, so this is a little bit different, and I just didn't know what to expect. You don't immediately get the results either from an MRI, so I was just nervous. Once my MRI results came back, my gynecologist called me, and he was shocked. He was shocked to reveal to me that my MRI revealed endometriosis all over my stomach. So in addition to the cysts, I then found out, it was February at this point, last February, I found out that I have endometriosis. that was another dagger to the chest, because I always suspected that I had endometriosis. I asked my gynecologist about endometriosis because of my symptoms, but the only way to diagnose endometriosis normally is through surgery. But because my endometriosis was so advanced, it was able to be seen through an MRI. Now let's backtrack. What is endometriosis? So, as you know, every month our uterine lining sheds and we have our menstrual cycle. When you have endometriosis, that uterine lining sheds and it grows all over. It can grow anywhere. It can grow in any organ, anywhere on your body, just like a cancer, but it's not terminal. It's lifelong. It causes, debilitating pain varying from person to person. 1 in 10 women has endometriosis, and I'm 1 in 10. Gynecologist was shocked that the endo was seen on the MRI, and at this point, surgery was even more urgent. So at this point, we began to plan for a cystoscopy. He again warned me about the possible chance of taking my ovary, my left ovary, the chance that it's damaged. But now, knowing that I have endometriosis, that adds a whole nother just level to it, of just warnings. So once I was officially diagnosed with endometriosis, that led to the rabbit hole of infertility and just pain. So we scheduled my surgery for April the 26th of 2022, and preparing for my surgery was a lot. I went for a lot of doctor's appointments, and I really just think it was a lot on me mentally, because like I said, I was coming off the high of my 21st birthday, and to be smacked with something like your health in the worst way possible, in my opinion, well, for me, it was a lot. I just feel like I'm so young. I never thought that I would have to fertility plan. I never thought that I would have to think about my fertility. I never thought that I would have to think about infertility. I never thought, I don't want to get emotional. It's like I'm telling this whole story, but that's the one part that gets me, because nobody tells you about how the doctor's attitude changes towards you once they hear you have endometriosis, guys. Like, every doctor's appointment that I go to now is them telling me I won't be able to have kids, them telling me how hard it'll be for me to be able to keep a pregnancy, them telling me how hard it'll be for me to get pregnant and miscarrying and carrying to term with endo. It's just so small and so rare, The doctors really put that fear on you, and in the beginning, I didn't know how to separate myself from that. So in the beginning, it really did wear on me. Like, I'm 21. I just want to go to a party. Why are you telling me I'm not going to be able to have kids? Why are you telling me I need to have a baby now? Like, y'all, I've had doctors tell me to get pregnant now. Like, it's been a crazy year. Like, to go from thinking you have all the time in the world, I don't want to have kids till I'm 30. You have your whole life planned out in your head. And for me, kids was a whole lot further down the line. So to have all of that shaken up is just like, what the heck? I definitely want to do like separate videos on this infertility at 21 conversation, because I haven't heard anyone else my age have infertility put on them and heard what that feels like. Like, I've heard and experience stories of women who are older, 25 plus, dealing with infertility, but I've never, maybe I'm just not looking, but I'm 22 and I'm telling y'all it hurts when a doctor is telling you that your womb will not work to its fullest capabilities. That hurts. Because I'm in my prime, like my eggs are fresh. So many of us think that it only happens to women who are 40 and they're trying to have kids and it doesn't work, or it's women. 1 in 10. 1 in 10. There are women who are trying to get pregnant right now, my age, not knowing that they have endometriosis, or not knowing why they can't get pregnant. We hear so many times the other end of infertility when you've already been trying. You've already given 10 years to trying for pregnancies and it's not happening. But what about being branded with infertility or being branded infertile before I've even started to try? How does that wear on a young woman? That at 21, the doctors have already deemed my womb infertile? That's heavy. And it is heavy to carry. And I didn't know how to carry it. So I went into surgery just not knowing. Surgery day was a lot. I woke up from surgery feeling like a pumpkin who had been carved out. That's the only way I can explain it. So upon opening me up, my doctor found over 40 endometrial lesions all over my abdomen, my bowel, my bladder. And that just explains the pain. The back pain, the cramps, the nausea, the throwing up, the pain. He figured it out. And he diagnosed me with stage 3 endometriosis. There is no cure for endometriosis, only management. I don't even know how to close, this video because I feel like this has been really heavy. But it's time. You guys have been asking where I am. Kimera, when are you posting? Where have you been? Are you okay? I am okay now. I'm okay. I'm doing great. But this past year I've been going through some stuff. And I'm happy that I've been able to come and sit down and share this story with you guys. I feel like it is a story that every woman needs to hear, because it is a story about our fertility. It is a story about advocating for yourself. It is really just spreading awareness, because 1 in 10 has endometriosis, but how many women are affected with fibroids? How many women are affected with PCOS? How many women are affected with endometriosis? How many women just have pain in general, painful periods? All of us are raising our hands. We all can relate to that. So this story is just a building block for us to be able to share and connect with anyone who may be dealing with endometriosis, who may be going through this journey. This is a safe space. If you're anyone who's dealing with pain, this is also a safe space to heal, because we're all healing together. And like I said, this is my tea. Once I found out I had endometriosis, like, all I really can do is do what I know best, and that's rely on herbs, rely on God. I can't rely on medicine to heal me. I have to use what God gave me, and that's the earth, that's the herbs. So part of this journey has been concocting a healing tea. So this is the femininity. It's a blend. Raspberry leaf, red clover, fennel, fenugreek, ginger, peppermint, cinnamon. I can't even think of everything that's in here, but it has tons of amazing herbs. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this story time. You've gotten something from it. If you know a woman or you are a woman, check in. Let me know how you're doing after this story time. Check on yourself. Check on your health. Check on the women in your life. I love all of you guys so much. And just thank you guys for asking about me, for checking on me. All of your prayers and just well wishes, I really do appreciate it so much. Like, every comment asking when I'm coming back, and all the comments saying you guys miss me and you want to see what's going on, or you want to just know I'm okay. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video. I gotta go get some herbs to make some more tea, and I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, bye guys.